What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but it don't add up. What you won't do.
The one to wake you up, the one to help you stand. The Holy Ghost, the only one that lent a helping hand. I raise my hands in extra praise. I bow my head and drop the ways. The Lord's forgiveness is what I pray. His holy love is all I need. His love will never fade. Be blessed and well behaved. We bless His name and shout for praise for the Lord to keep my faith. Bless me and keep my strength.
I want to welcome you to a brand new you podcast where every conversation is a chance for you to start over, start fresh in life. Listen, I'm your host, Pastor Erskine Summers, and each episode we talk about ideas, perspectives, and strategies that can help you change your mind or change the way you think. And living in today's world, today's society, I can honestly say that I've been through a whole lot of stuff and a whole lot of change. And one thing I know is that trouble will either change you or make you stay the same. So today we got a very special guest, one of my friends, one of my brothers that I know quite well. Very talented young man at that. Very talented young man. And he goes by the name of Prophet Jamil Mauney, JMG. He wears a whole lot of hats, And I am so excited for what the Lord has for him in his future. I'm excited for what doors and opportunities is going to open up for this young man. And I just want to know that I'm going to be right there with him. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we introducing him, Jamil Mauney. What's up, my brother?
My
What's
God,
up?
how you
What's
doing,
up?
man?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, bro. Doing pretty good. Man, glad to have you on the show, bro.
Man, I appreciate you having me for sure.
Yeah, man, taking the time out of your busy schedule. You know, you got a lot of stuff going on. You got a lot of this invasion. What you call that? The
Operation Rescue.
Operation Rescue, man. Listen, whenever this guy puts this up, Operation Rescue, if you are in the vicinity, 30 miles away, 45 minutes away, make sure you get in the building because he got a lot of stuff going on, and he's reaching the youth in a very special way. So starting off today, man, we just opening up, man, and I'm thanking God for, first of all, our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Our relationship. And you've never changed. You know what I'm saying? And I like that about you. Bro. You shown to be a friend to me. Man. And the show is called A Brand New You. So what things or what has happened in your life that you can say that made you stop and think or made you turn around or made you come to Christ? What is, can you give us something that you know that will help us to understand how you got to where you are today? Because we all got a story. And we all come from somewhere. And I had a very traumatic story. I experienced a lot of things at a young age, and that turned me around to Christ. So what was it, what event that you can pinpoint and let us know what happened that made you want to walk with God?
Yeah, man. Obviously, I grew up in a Christian household. You know, my parents were both Christians. And then around, I think it was eighth grade, maybe, that's when my dad, he got his own ministry. And so, growing up prior in New Mount Olive, I feel like it was a great experience. We had about 14 married couples. I think everybody had like 3 kids, so children's church was off the chain.
It was.
Most of them was from the community, you know what I'm saying? So we all kind of played together and then, kind of just grew up. Obviously, when my dad got his own ministry in 98, that was a big change. I feel like at that point, I was able to see like kind of behind the scenes. It's different like when you become like the first family, which I'm sure you know about now because, you're a pastor. And so, I don't know, man, I think it was, just a combination of like my parents were real about God, and I appreciate that. I grew up in a good home, what I'm saying? My dad he lived what he preached, what I'm saying? They were great at home. My dad loved my mom, was faithful all those years. So
Yeah, that's good.
I definitely appreciate that. We did grow up kind of strict, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the rules that we had, I definitely didn't understand.
Yeah.
Especially when we got our new pastor. I think when I was like 7 or 8, somewhere around in there, and everything kind of changed.
Yeah.
But when my dad got his own ministry, that was just a whole change. So from about 8th grade to like graduation high school, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I knew God was real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had experiences with him early. I just think when I kind of got into like preteen, teen years, things just kind of changed. I wanted to experience more freedom, you know what I'm saying? And then graduating and going to college, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of had your own journey. But when my parents were pastors, man, like, I saw some stuff like that. I was like, I can't believe this goes on.
Right.
And so just as being like the oldest, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love my family. I love my parents. I love my siblings. And some of the stuff that I saw like my parents going through, dealing with people that were in the church, you know what I'm saying, at the time, bro, it was mind-blowing, bro.
Did that cause you to actually look at people different, or church folk different, or just, whether it was family members or what, you know what I'm saying, seeing how people reacted or treated your parents at that time? How did that affect you as a child?
Yeah, I think that, at first, it was my dad getting his own ministry obviously was different, you know what I'm saying? He prepared us. Like, I think like a year out, he brought us all instruments.
Yeah.
So he bought Bud. I think Bud was like 6. You know what I'm saying? He bought him a drum set, brought my sister keys, and bought me a bass. So about a year out, he was prepping for it. So when we got there, I don't know, it just changed quick, man. Growing up in Mount Olive, the way that they presented like the Bible and Christianity, we wouldn't have thought that people like were liars or that they cheat and stole.
Right.
And so I didn't see that until my parents got their ministry. And so kind of like being behind the scene, it just seemed like how people were always needing stuff and were taking advantage of like my parents and especially my dad, because he got like a big heart. My mom was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? But it was, I think, seeing that definitely affected me. And as time went on, like it seemed like stuff like kind of got worse. And so, I went to college, had a good experience in college, kind of lived the life of the world, you know what I'm saying? But I did well in college, you know what I'm saying? I was a student athlete, graduated. And so my mom fell sick my senior year in high school. And I guess it had been going on for a while. My parents didn't tell us like at that time.
Yeah.
And so like that whole summer, like she was in the hospital for like 3 months. And so I didn't know what the fall was going to hold. So I didn't go to college. I had some opportunities to go and play. And so I waited. And so that was a turn for me. You know what I'm saying? Just like, it just seemed like it just all came crashing down, you know what I'm saying, quick. And so I ended up going to a school close by. I had a friend that went there. He kind of got me. And so I did end up playing sports in there. And so when I graduated, I went to grad school. And then my mom had a kidney transplant. So all during undergrad, like she was like in and out the hospital, like with lupus was the disease and stuff that she had at the time. And so when I got to Greensboro, I was at A&T. And then that year there, you know what I'm saying, it just seemed like, I don't know, bro, it just seemed like it kept falling apart. So the surgery went well, you know what I'm saying, she was recovering. Then she went through this like period where her body was rejecting it. And so then it was just some stuff that happened in church like around like 11, 12, and she passed away in 13. Like, bro, like it was insane. You know what I'm saying? It was at that point in time where I like drew the line in the sand. I was like, nah, this can't be it. And so then after she passed away, man, like I went through a period of time where it just like lost, because I hadn't experienced death in a close proximity. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the people that we knew had died, like weren't close. And the first time it was close, it was my mom. You know what I'm saying? We were super close. So I think just going through that time period, it was like maybe like 3 or 4 months after that, I just remember like sitting in my room one day and I was just like, I feel lost. I don't know. And I feel like that's the first time like I was able to hear God speak to me. You know what I'm saying? It was just like really just comforting me and was just saying like, man, I know you done seen a lot. I know stuff in church is being hectic for you. He was like, but I'm God and I change not. I'm still good. You know what I'm saying? I want to reveal. And I feel like that after that, it was still a year before I even got saved. But during that year, man, like I started coming home and like read my Bible like every day. And that's kind of started my journey. And then in 2014, September, man, that's when I got saved. And then it's been just kind of a journey since then.
Yeah. Man, all glory belongs to God for that, man. We thank God for that, man. My mom is still here, man, so I don't know that pain yet, you know, and quite frankly, I really don't want to experience that. But man, we pray that you. I know it's been some years, but that's your mom, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know you still have moments from here and there, you know, thinking about the memories and, you know, and times and stuff like that. So I just pray your strength in the Lord, man. And with that being said, your mom was sick, and your dad, he's a pastor, right? And for the ones that think that God is a genie per se, you know, that he answers all our prayers, and all they need to do is call on God. When something like that traumatically happens in our life, and we are believers, and we do believe in prayer, and we do believe that God is a healer, but God, what happened here? You know what I'm saying? So I know somebody is going through that now. Somebody is blaming God. Somebody don't go to church because of a situation that happened that they thought that God was supposed to be there and show up, but he didn't. So now they are holding something against God, you know, and it's a lot of church people like that. You know what I'm saying? And but for that person that is going through that and holding a grudge against God for not answering the prayers, or blaming God for a death or for a traumatic event to happen, encourage that person right now to let them know that just because we are believers and we are in this world, we are not exempt for tragic things happening to us. Can you talk to us right there, man?
Yeah. And you know, I think it's just that thing of, it's like when people ask, you know, why do bad things happen to good people?
Right.
You know, 10 years ago, if you'd have asked me that, I would have been like, I don't know for sure.
Right.
But I know that God is still who he was before the tragic event happened, right? Now, I would tell you, you know, God tragically lost his son too and had to watch it.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? And so whenever you think about it from that perspective, that's why when the Bible talks about God is very much familiar with the infirmities and things that we go through, I think a lot of times we don't look at it like that. Like, we don't look at the fact that God did create Adam, and Adam was his first son. Right. And then, you know, he had to watch his son and his wife get kicked out of the house. You know what I'm saying? Then Cain killed Abel. So that makes Cain his grandson. So he had one grandson killed the other. And then 5,000 years later, you know, he's watching humanity, his creation, go through all of these changes on the earth. And then he has to watch his son die a brutal death on the Roman crucifixion. You know what I'm saying? So on one end, you know what I'm saying, we're not being crucified. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, we do have these things. And I'll be honest with you, man, like the stuff that my family like experienced up about 1 or 2 years before my mom's death, yeah, it was wild, man. Like people coming against like my mom, like trying to tear my mom and dad apart, like wanted to honor him as the pastor, but then want like his wife and then his family, and then
it's wrong.
Man, I listen, man, you want me to be real, like I remember my mom goes into the hospital, and we have no idea this is getting ready to be the last time. Right. She's in on a Thursday, and so that Friday, I had left to go home to shower and stuff, and she told my sister, she was like, call your brother and tell him I want him to come back. And so I go back to the hospital, so it's just me and her. And so we're in the room, and I'm watching the doctors like give. Now my mom is 5'1", maybe 160 at the time. Yeah. I'm watching them give her morphine that would take down an elephant. Nothing's working, bro. Yeah. And she turns over and she's having a conversation, like, and so she starts off, she's pouring into me. She's telling me, she was like, hey, she was like, if I don't make it, I feel like bringing you here was one of my biggest successes, because God's going to use you to change the world. And at the time, I'm not saved. I can't even hear. I'm looking at her laying, you know, in the bed. And I remember she rolled over and she said to me, she was like, you know, I am sick. I got some things going on. She was like, but a lot of this is witchcraft. And she was like, you better not let them kill your brother, your sister, and your daddy. And so it's probably a story ain't nobody heard, you know what I'm saying? And so for 10 years, even after my transition, you know, that thought process was still in my head, you know what I'm saying? And so on one end, it's like you see and that's one of the reasons why, like, I mean, we were friends before then, but even now, like, you know, my prayer for you, especially like being a pastor, like it can be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I've changed my language around the concept of it being church people because nothing is wrong with the church. Like that's God's global organization. But the people who come, you know what I'm saying, is a different case. And sometimes like we are put in precarious situations, you know what I'm saying, where boundaries are crossed. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, you know what I'm saying, us just showing the love of Christ and just always looking the other way. Like, no, sometimes like you have to have boundaries. You have to have things in place that protect your family, you know what I'm saying, that protect your loved ones, you know what I'm saying, because we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, right? At the same time, but we know the kingdom of darkness will use people that have flesh and blood. So you have to find like a good balance. And so I think for me, my relationship with the Lord, it became real. And for 10 years, like no matter what's happened, I've built that. So eventually you come to the place where you realize that you have to be what I call ride or die for God. You got to be things are good, I'm riding for them. Things are bad, I'm still riding for them. If I don't know what's next, if I don't even believe that my life may even go, he's still good, he's still God. He's Jeremiah 29:11, don't stop, because I can't understand what's going on in my life right now. And so I think that we as believers, like we have to understand that, like, God he never stops being God. If he ever does that, this whole world falls apart. Right. And so just because, you know, my life may look upside down or things about my life I don't understand or it's crazy or I'm just like, God don't forgot about me. Clearly, no, we have to really understand that in his word he says he's going to never leave us nor forsake us. You know what I'm saying? He says that his son is Alpha and Omega. You know what I'm saying? And so he's there in the beginning, he's there in the end. And then Jesus tells us that he is with us always, even to the ends of the earth. So even when it's dark, we just got to realize that, man, he's probably carrying us. You know what I'm saying? And so,
So God uses traumatic situations sometimes in our life to shape us. A lot of people don't realize that. You know, he used different events in our life to mature us, to shape us, to bring things out of us sometimes that we don't think lies doormat. But he uses situations to do that, man. And I'm so grateful for the things. I always tell people that, you know, everything that happened to me, I used it as a stepping stone to my next. You know what I'm saying? Just because it was bad don't mean that it was bad. I've learned to see God in every situation. It took me a while to understand and process some things, but I learned to, just like Peter when he seen Jesus walking on the water and he asked God, hey, is that you? Hey, bid me to come. And he told him to come. So Peter stepped out of the boat onto the water, and he was walking to Jesus. He was walking to Jesus until he took his eyes off of him and started paying attention to what was going on around him. But I learned that if I just look for God in every situation, man, everything gonna be all right, because he is in it, whether we think he's or not. He's in the situation and he's working it out. The Bible tells us in Romans 8:28, for we know, all things work together for the good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose, man. So everything that happened to me, man, it made me who I am today. Even with people talking about me, turning their backs on me, all that stuff is all good, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't charge nobody falsely. I'm like Jesus was. Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Right. They don't understand. Right. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand. But man, I'm telling you, man, if you are faced with a situation today and you think that there's no hope, that there's no light at the end of the tunnel, look for God in that situation. Look for him. He's there. He's there. He said he'll never leave us. Trust me, he's there. You just don't know it. You just don't know it. So look for him in that situation, man, and watch God turn that thing around. And I also learned, Prophet, that if God does not turn this thing around, if he does not do another thing for me, I still know he's able. So we got to have that mindset, man, going this way, that if the circumstance don't change, the situation don't change, God's still able. Yeah, right. And a lot of times we pray for the situation to change, but God's will and our will are two different things. We want the situation to change, but God wants us to change in the situation. He will equip us to bear what we go through, man. So let's shift a little bit and talk about music, man.
All right.
Talk about music. You are, like you say, y'all guys were talented. Your dad bought y'all instruments, man. And all y'all, man, y'all gifted, bro. You gifted with it. And man, the sound, bro, is so important to the move of God that sometimes people don't understand that sound plays a very big part into what God is going to do. Sound and belief, man.
Right.
So and you know that from, I mean, you know that, man. So in that, bro, let's give me something about creating the atmosphere for God to move, man. You know what I'm saying? The atmosphere have to be set for God to be God. It has to. Sometimes we willy nilly and and go through the motions, but God ain't in the motions.
Right.
It's a technique. It's a strategy, man. Go ahead, man. Help me out on that. Help us out on that, bro.
I mean, just looking back, man, I obviously, like I said, my dad bought us. I was playing bass when I was at Mount Olive, and Bud was playing drums. He was already tough.
Yeah.
Like, how like you be on internet now, you see like these 6-7-year-olds. Bud was that person. He was that person at 6. I remember sitting in the audience watching him play on Sunday mornings because Philip Jackson, he was the lead drummer, and he used to work third shift, and so sometimes he didn't get there. And so Bud was the go-to guy. And I'm telling you, like, man, like, he was chops, timing. He had it all. Yeah. Only thing he didn't have was YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so my dad got us instruments. And then I remember, my dad, man, he was off script, bro. He flows with the spirit. So our sound was groomed inside that flowing with the spirit then. And so I'll never forget Pastor Josh Button. His dad came to our church one time, and I remember he prophesied over all of us, you know what I'm saying, about what God was going to do with our ability and talent with music. Right. You know what I'm saying? They would, drive spirits and set atmospheres for miracles and stuff to happen. And so it went through phases. So when I came back from Greensboro in 09-10, we started a group, which was Jay's band then. And so I was writing most of our stuff then. Right. And so
you was writing like the lyrics or like the notes, the music?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, I was writing both, the melodies and the lyrics. I actually did. I started hearing like songs like in like 08. And so I remember we were going out. And so I remember we had an audition for, most people don't know this, we had an audition for Marvin Sapp, and it was in Charlotte.
Nobody's ever heard this, so you're hearing it for the first time on the Brand New You podcast.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I personally, obviously I was leading the group at the time, but I wasn't singing or anything like that. We were just doing it for the love of God at the time, but it went a certain way, and so we ended up in some events, and so we had an audition, and so it was in Charlotte, and we went, and it went well, and so he was watching us on live stream, and so he was interested in us. And right after that, my mom fell sick.
Oh man!
Right after that, and it went from there all the way to the time till she passed away. And then after that, it was just like 10 years of change. And so, but my dad, man, he flows with the spirit. You know what I'm saying? He's interested in miracles, healing, like people getting breakthrough. So our sound on Sunday morning was evolving. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, to match the energy he had that was on him. And
man,
so
that's so important.
He plays a really big part, you know what I'm saying? So we were adapting to what he was doing. And then we got down to where I got in ministry. And so when I started building my own relationship with God, like my dad is super charismatic. Like he can preach and he go for 2 hours and never get tired, voice never go out.
Right.
But that wasn't mine. And so I kind of was introduced to like that prophetic atmosphere in like my prayer time. Yeah. And then it bled into like ministry. And so it did change the whole sound. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm still unable to create it because I'm not playing keys at this time, but I know what it is. And so we do. And then it's like 17, 18, that's when I started like kind of out traveling. And so now I'm carrying it. And so then like me and Bud, we get together and we're talking about the new path that we're going. And so that's where it started developing, man. It was developing out of my prayer life, really, like my long time with God.
Do y'all hear that? It starts in prayer. Ministry starts with prayer, bro. You can't just go out here and God called me. You ain't even spent no time with God. Do you even know the man? It starts with prayer. It's birthed through prayer. Because you got to be able to hear. You got to be able to hear, you know what I'm saying, God.
Yep. I remember listening to a prayer on YouTube called Atomic Prayer by Cindy Trim. And the guy that was playing in the background, when I heard it, I'm like, that's the sound I've been hearing for like the last 7-8 years. It took me like 3 months to find out who this guy was. It was Nathaniel Cole.
Yeah, I play him too.
And so it took me, when I found his instrumental, like that was like my prayer thing. Like I would go work out at the gym. That's what I was listening to. Or if I was just sitting there and just like praying, like trying to get my prayer life up because it was weak. You know what I'm saying? My word life was good and was growing, but to be able to get in there and just be with God, like I had to work on that. Yeah. And so it evolved from me even on guitar. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I went from like the kind of like the what they call storefront sound, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like into more of like the presence music is what I call it. And so it just kept evolving, man. And so during the pandemic, that's when I started playing keys. And so then I was able to kind of like introduce it to like people that are around me who were coming to play. Yeah. And so it is, different people, whatever your method or whatever your goal is in ministry, like you got to find whatever sound goes with it. So I don't kick against people who maybe still have hand clapping on Sunday morning, or people who do choirs, or people who do, praise and worship, or whatever it is, is doing. You know what I'm saying? For me, I never was interested in doing ministry, but now that I'm here, like I'm all about souls, breakthrough, healing, miracles, whatever that looks like. And so it is a sound that comes with that. Yeah. And it even carries into like the spontaneity of just playing and just creating like in the moment, you know what I'm saying? That ain't for everybody. It ain't. But one thing I can definitely tell you is that you done seen it, man. Yeah. Like when you in there, like, man, it's powerful, man. And it's a level of freedom that exists there. And that's a space that the Holy Spirit can do whatever he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? So
man. Sound, it is, man. It's so important. And, like you said, a lot of people still do the hand clapping stuff. I don't care what's going on inside of a church, but you can't go in there with the attitude or with the perspective, or they're not singing your song, or the music ain't what you're used to.
Right.
If you get in there and engage, man, it's all about engagement. You got to get with whatever's going on, whatever spirit is in that house. Get with that. You can still get what you came for. You can still get what you came for, man. And a lot of people are not up to that sound, that real prophetic sound, but it don't diminish what God is doing through them.
Right.
Don't diminish. And one thing I like about you, man, you are willing to teach and show, you know what I'm saying? You're not selfish. You're not a gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I got to get with you so you can teach me, the chord, them strings that you were working with. So we're going to get with that, man, and help us out a little bit, bro. But man, listen, we are living in a world now where nothing stays the same for long. Nothing stays the same for long. And people are afraid of change. People don't know how to adjust to change. And people think change is from the devil. But if that baby don't change, if a baby never changes, something wrong with that baby. Change is important, man. Change is an advocate for growth. And in your book, one of your books that's entitled Going Where We Have Never Gone Before, I call it a book of prophecies, because you spoke of some things that we wasn't used to at first when you first spoke about it, and it was foreign to people. And I can only imagine how you felt. I can only imagine how you felt, you know what I'm saying, with I don't know if you ever felt rejected. Have you ever, let's hit right there just for a second. Have you ever felt rejected by your perspective of the word, with your knowledge and your profession, and you are blending them with the gospel, and it's God is using you to go where we haven't gone yet. He got to you. If anything, if God is going to do anything in this world, He gonna use a person.
Right.
He's not coming to do it himself. He gonna use whoever willing and obedient. And I can honestly say, man, I know you put in the time to hear that voice, and you know what I'm saying. So in your book, man, going we have never gone before, you brought to light a lot of different things that are manifesting now, man. And in some of the chapters in there, you talked about the microchip technology, the monotechnology, the virtual reality. You know what I'm saying? And if you was to think years ago when none of this stuff was going on, man, you were like, man, this dude done lost his mind. You know what I'm saying? But now this stuff is here. Technology has evolved, man, and it's going at a speed that we can't even keep up with, bro.
Right.
We can't even keep up with, man. You talked about autographical intelligence, genetic engineering, and future forecasting, man. And I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. And this stuff is deep, man. And it's here now.
Right.
It's here now. People are trying to be God. I think this is my perspective. I think that people that are in high places, because the Bible says there's spiritual wickedness in high places and principalities, you know, and rulers, you know, over regions. I think they have read the Bible or know of it or heard somebody preaching, and they're trying to mimic what God is doing. What do you think about that, man?
Just to go back to like the first question.
Yeah.
Do I feel rejected? Probably not. Right. I think that you know, even what we talked about like with the music and like going, you know what I'm saying, and then this part, like we're millennials.
Yeah.
Right? Every generation takes it to its next place.
Supposed to,
you know
yes,
what I'm saying?
sir.
I think one of the best things that happened for me was, God rest his soul, Sean Simpson. He was one of like my early mentors. And I remember him telling me one time, he was like, man, I don't ever want you to be discouraged. He was like, because at the end of the day, prophets usually are not welcome in their own country. And he told me that early. And so I held on to it. And so I never take it personal. You know what I'm saying? Because at the flip side of that is, you know, God has allowed me to go to 7, 8 countries and preach and minister, and it's complete freedom there.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But my heart is for, you know what I'm saying, my region,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And more important, Statesville, because Statesville is the crossroads.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that what we have to consider on one end is that it's almost like God, right? God never has to do the same thing twice.
Right.
But whatever he does, it looks like what was before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a good example. Like Moses walks out and he drops a staff in the water and the water parts on both sides. Right? When Joshua does it, he doesn't use a staff. The Bible says that when his feet hit the water, it parted. Right? Then by the time we get to Jesus, he don't do neither one. He just walks on it.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at a mirror of almost the same miracle, but it was done different ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Moses can't get mad because Joshua ain't dropped the staff. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Joshua can't get mad at Jesus because he walked instead of
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's that part. And that's one thing I would say to, you know, even our ministries here, like, just look at the millennials. How many millennial preachers, pastors of us is it really? Like, we can probably count them on one hand.
You can.
And so I'm one of those people that is interested in bridging the gap between the generation before. I'm not one of the people that wants to like kick them to the side and be like, y'all time is up. I've never been like that. Right. But my journey has been different. Like, I've done outreach, you know what I'm saying, to like nations with mission trips. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been involved in politics. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so even down like to our music styles, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're outside the box like that because we're going after. And so it's still God though. You know what I'm saying? It's still God-centered. It's still built the same thing. And so now we've come to a place, you know what I'm saying, where we are going, where we have not been. We're caught in between the final days of the coming of the Lord, the rapture. And so for me, my undergrad is in computer science.
Right.
And so for years, I was like, hey, I love computers. I was like, but what is this passion for? And it probably wasn't until like 16, 17 that I started developing like the love for emerging tech. And then one day God spoke to me. He was like, I want to show you what technology has to do with the end times.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then it started with the prophecy of Matthew 24:37, where it says in the last days it would be like it was in the days of Noah.
Right.
So then I had to spend like 7-8 years studying the 950-year life of Noah. So yeah, most people don't see that. Most people think that this is just hype or just no. I really have spent the time like studying. Like I'm a researcher. Period. Like you would think like that's my job full time. Like, and so when I wrote my first book and I actually wrote it during the pandemic, and I didn't put it out till 23 because I had 2 other ones. I've gotten people who know me who have reached out and was like, man, I thought you was crazy talking about robots and AI, and from 22 to now, like almost 3/4 of whatever was in that book has already happened.
Right.
And so, even as being prophetic, like you have to be able to deal with rejection. Like they will always tell you that. Like you can't be a person that carry your feelings on your shoulders. Like you just got to be able to like go. But I know what I saw.
Right.
And so even the one I got coming out next, which is part 2 to the book, because I split it in half. Like the stuff that you're going to hear me say in this next one is going to sound even crazier. But a person who reads the Bible and understands remotely anything about end times, it'll make sense to. But it also makes sense to somebody who's in IT.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who's just got whatever field. It can be a data analyst.
Yeah.
It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Because AI clearly is going to affect every single phase of our life, every single job market that there is globally. And so, but I think that there's something else to it. And so it's just my job to warn, you know what I'm saying? I think I talked about this maybe like 2 weeks ago on another podcast. When I read the book of Revelation, it says some interesting things. Like one of the things it says, it was like that the beast gave power to an image and it gave it the power to speak, right? And then it goes on, talks about that a mark was given and the people who didn't get this mark could not buy or sell. And then it went on to say that the people who did get the mark, they skipped hell and went straight to the lake of fire.
Wow.
And I'm saying to myself, we don't even know what the mark of the beast is right now.
What it is, bro.
But if you ask me, when I look at AI, it looks like something gave machines the power to speak and to think, something that we ain't never seen before.
Right.
And so, like, we got to be asking, like, is this related? I mean, there's just so many, like, prophecies in the Bible that I put on a board, had to look. Daniel 2:43 says that in the last days that they shall mingle with the seed of men. Who is they?
Right.
It says that the statue of the nations that would rule the world, that Nebuchadnezzar saw, when it got down to the end, it said that there were 10 toes. Half of them were clay and the other half of them were iron. Like, is that humans and robots living in the same time period? Like, look where we're at right now.
Yeah.
You got Elon Musk, who has already introduced us to, robo vans, robo taxis, the humanoid robots that he's going to Mars. Like,
yeah, and he's not stopping.
He's not stopping. He's full.
He's not stopping.
And I think that because there are so many topics in the Bible that we have not discussed, like in church, that it makes a lot of this seem far-fetched. Like, I think people forget the fact that Nimrod tried to build a tower to go to heaven.
Yes.
And it wasn't literal heaven. He was trying to gain access to a dimension where there were a sect of angels called the Anunnaki were.
Yeah.
But when you look at now, it's easier for us to overlook and be like, in the same year, in 24, both Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos both were trying to get the Mars. What are they going to Mars?
What you going to Mars for?
What are they going to Mars for? And so we are living in a time, bro, where we're so going where we have not been. And this next book, bro, I'm going all the way there. Like, I'm looking at the next 10 to 15 years. But by 2030, this thing is going to hit full swing. Wow. And so we got, what's this, 26?
26, bro. 26.
We got a few. And I don't know if you guys remember, like in the early '90s when YouTube, Hotmail.
Yeah, Hotmail.
What was the other one? What was the one before Hotmail?
MySpace.
MySpace. What was the email? It was AOL and what's the other one? Yahoo.
Yeah,
right?
Yahoo.
It changed everything. How long did it take the church to catch up with what happened then?
Right.
It's been like that in every single major revolution. The one in 1787, when we got coal and steam, it happened then. 1860, when we got introduced to the ability to now have engines and manufacturing. We had the Wright brothers with Kitty Hawk who made the plane. Like, then in the 1960s, we got the boombox and we got the atomic bomb and we got all of this. The church has always been slightly behind.
Man,
we can't afford to be behind this time, bro. We were behind in the 90s when it was happening. We was kicking against and saying, no, that's the devil, that's the youth. Man, listen. Look how much happened, changed for us in our childhood. Y'all remember Blockbuster and pizza, Friday nights, video games? What happened to Blockbuster?
Shut down.
Kiosk, streaming, slap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The world is going to keep going. And so we cannot afford to be behind. It doesn't matter if you're old, if you're young, because this AI transition and this move toward what I believe is another day that's similar to the days of what Nimrod built. Mm-hmm. Nimrod had a smart city. And so I don't think that people can see that because we still looking at the Bible as a history book. Right. Possibly true, possibly not. We don't believe that. Like, we still don't believe that the Bible told us that angels entered in the earth realm and had children with women here and produced a hybrid offspring. So, you know, we're dealing with some serious issues here right now that I think we got to like wake up and not say like, we're not going to talk about this. We got to be talking about it now. You know what I'm saying? Because by 2030, like the world that we know probably will not exist. And I can't promise you that. I do believe that Jesus is going to come in our lifetime. But I don't think it's going to be before 2030.
Right. Exactly.
So I think, you know what I'm saying, we got to be figuring out what does this look like? How are we going to transition? What happens when the jobs that we have known to make us the money that we earn, that they go away to automation? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What does that look like? Are we looking at, I honestly believe we might be looking at a universal basic income. Because what happens when AI takes all the jobs? There's going to be nothing for us to do.
Ain't going to be nothing for us to do.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we got to just at least be open-minded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if you don't believe the stuff that I say, a little bit of research won't kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's out there.
It's out there.
They're showing you where they're putting the robots in houses.
All that.
The Amazon warehouse out in Arizona,
yeah.
It's fully automated with robots. Not one human working there except the person out the doors in the morning.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy to even think about in our day and time that's existing. But, you know, back in the day, I used to watch this cartoon, man, the Jetsons. You know what I'm saying? They showed a lot of that stuff. They put it in our face, bro. They put it in our face, but it's here. But I'm so glad that God blessed you with that gift to be able to obtain that knowledge and go get that stuff, man, because that's a lot. That's a lot. So if you're watching this and you are in a place to where you are confused, don't know what you're doing or don't know the next step, and you looking for a change and don't know how, listen, go to my website, www.abrandnuyou.com, and shop the mindset. Make sure you click on the button, shop the mindset, and you'll see every style of clothing, and you see what it means. Go through there, read it, read what I have on the website, so you understand what the brand is about. It's about, you know, not being afraid of change. It's about, you know, you finding the better version of yourself, about you finding the strength mentally and physically to change or want something different. We are so scared of change that it paralyzes us. It paralyzes us, man. So go shop the website. We got some new apparel coming. I'm working on now a urban streetwear. I got a few designs I've been working on, and I'll show them to you coming up pretty soon. So, man, let the people know where they can find you. How many books you say you wrote? You 5, and you're working on, got a new one, right?
I have 4.
You got
and
4.
The 5th one.
The fifth one's
It's
coming
loaded
out.
now.
Now, where
Yeah.
can they go and find your books, man? Give them your information, your follow this man on Instagram, Facebook. You on TikTok?
Yeah.
He's on TikTok. He got some teachings on there. I joined one of his teachings years ago called Acceleration, man. It was so good, so impactful, man. And to this day, I'm upset I didn't get all of the teachings because of my schedule, but he has some good information, man. This is an excellent teacher, man. He knows what he's talking about. But let the people know where they can find your books and follow you, your ministry, and everything, bro.
Yeah, you can follow me, Jamil Mauney, on Instagram, Facebook. Those are my primary. I'm working on TikTok currently. All my books are currently on Amazon under my name, Jamil Mauney. I got 4 this month. So I got one on forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? If you're a Christian, it's going to be on forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a Christian, you know what I'm saying? It's still good for you too, because essentially it talks about how to get over trauma. You know, it's trauma management. You know what I'm saying? We got to have, Christ has given us a very detailed plan about how to deal with trauma that's been in our life, because let's be honest, nobody taught us trauma management growing up.
Right.
But we was running headlong into it.
Exactly.
Right. I got a book on there called Welcome to the Kingdom. It's a discipleship book. You know what I'm saying? It basically what you need to know foundationally as a Christian. That's
a very good book. Doctrinal, it got a lot of doctrinal stuff in there. You have to know that stuff, man, so to understand how the kingdom of God operates, bro.
Listen, to be honest with you, I need a clone, because on one end, what I'm doing right now, God has had me, but when what was this, 22, 23, I was able to do some tour stuff with that book. I was surprised at how many churches like don't have like foundational doctrine. Like, it's one thing to be a Christian, but what does that actually mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hebrews chapter 6 gives us the foundational principles of our faith, right? And so you need to know those. Then I got Going Where You Have Not Been. You know what I'm saying? That's my life's work. And then I got a book on there called talks about biblical revolutionaries. And so then I got the 5th one coming out. So yeah, follow me, Jamil Mauney on YouTube. You know, so I got a bunch of free material that I give away on YouTube, man. I got series for all my books, short micro samples, videos like 6 to 10 minutes long, man. So if you can stomach those, like, they break the books down. So I try to adhere to people who are visual learners, people who are auditory. And so, yeah, I'm on all of those. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the same, Jamil Mauney.
Yeah. Listen, good. It's good to support. It's good to support somebody that's doing something good, you know. So go support the guy. Go like, share, subscribe to his channels. You can also subscribe to this channel, BrandNuYouPodcast on you. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing to like a post. It don't cost you nothing to share a post. It don't cost you nothing to subscribe. So while we're not doing it, you know what I mean? Especially if you rock with somebody, friends or family, what? Hit the button. Hit the button. It don't cost nothing, but we thank God for this journey that you're on, bro. So real brief, man, what is up next besides your books? What is up? What's up next for you, man? What are you looking to do, or what? Yeah, what are you looking to do in the next before this year out, man?
Right. So currently, we're doing this outreach called Operation Rescue, and so Operation Rescue was designed to reach young people with the gospel. Mm-hmm. And so basically, my format for that is we do trap gospel. You know what I'm saying? Something that's more geared toward them. And so we were having it here, and then I decided to take it abroad. You know what I'm saying? So we'll go to an area. I'll find 2 or 3 other youth groups from the area. I'll invite them. So I'll perform for them. They'll perform. I'll share the gospel with them. You know what I'm saying? Let the Spirit do what he wants to do, and then we have pizza. You know what I'm saying? So we're on a 10-city tour. We're halfway. We done been 5. It's been phenomenal, man. Like, it's been crazy, bro. We just had 4 and 5 like 2 weeks ago, and man, just to see how God is moving on these young people, saving them, like, you know what I'm saying? We done had about 25, 30 that done got saved, filled with the Holy Spirit.
Glory to God, man. Glory
you know what I'm
to
saying?
God.
I follow up with the churches for baptisms, you know what I'm saying? So all of them done been, baptized, and so we got like 5 more, and so I just would say that you might not like hip hop, you might not like rap, you may not like edgy stuff.
Talk to the
you know
people,
what I'm saying?
man.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I say this humbly, you know what I'm saying? A lot of churches can't reach their young people. And so where you frowning kind of on people who are taking that route, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I always say, like, it ain't just hype. You know what I'm saying? If you've been to some of my events, like, you'll see. Like, I'm telling you, like, this, let me tell you this, man. In December, when God had laid this on my heart, I was scrolling on Instagram looking for youth groups, like, in the area.
Right.
Because basically, Iredell County touches 9 counties.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm going to try to hit all 9 counties. I was scrolling down, and I came across a group called Youth in Motion. And the Holy Spirit was like, message them. Mm-hmm. And the Lord told me, he was like, I've been trying to get in contact with these young people. And at the time, I heard him when he said it, but I wasn't, like, thinking.
Right.
So they were supposed to come to the one I had in December, and so they weren't able to make it. And then the one that you came to in March, they were supposed to be there, and they weren't able to make it. So, I kept trying. So they came to the last one that we had.
Okay.
And, man, when I tell you, like, the way that the Holy Spirit, it was unreal, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, these kids was crying, like, giving their life to the Lord, like we couldn't even move on because the Holy Spirit was on them so strong for, like, almost an hour and a half, man. Like, and so I had met another guy there, and so he got my number, and so we had a conversation. He was telling me, he was like, that had to be God, because, like, in December, he was like, I don't know what was going on. He was like, man, they was, like, getting in trouble, like, in school. He was like, just seemed like the enemy was just attacking them. He was like, and the fact that God would speak to somebody about them in a whole nother city, it was crazy, man. But
that's good. That's awesome.
So yeah, man, we done had about 30 give their life to the Lord, baptism, you know what I'm saying? So we got 5 more cities, man. So we just looking. So I definitely got that. I'm going back to Africa in July for a 10-day mission trip. I'll be preaching in schools, churches, and prisons. And then the second half of the year, I hope to do Operation Rescue in the bordering states. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? I kind of got that up in prayer. But for right now, up until July, August, that's pretty much my schedule. And so
that's good, man. We look forward to that, bro. Very busy schedule, man. One of these years, I mean, I'm gonna get on that plane with you, and I'm gonna go to Africa with you.
Yeah, man. That's that's a whole nother. That's why I need 2 clones, right?
Yeah.
Because I would say anybody that does ministry, I feel like should go to another country and see what it's like.
Yeah.
When you go over there, man, like, I've seen miracles and stuff happen here, but the stuff I see when I travel abroad, the intent of people to get in the room with the power of God, bro, like, people without vehicles that would travel miles just to be, I've seen them have to end service for safety reasons until they got to come back tomorrow. Talking about so many miracles in a night where you can't count them. Tumors falling off people, blinded eyes being open, like, people being set free from demonic oppression. Like, I'm telling you, where it's so much, like, you can't count it. You can't go home and be like, bro, it was too, like, it'd be just that many. Like, and it'll be like this 6-7 days in a row, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've been doing missions since 2015. And it changed my life, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, that definitely changed my life. Like, going and, like, seeing, like, that hunger. And so that's what kind of pushes me for outreach. So I'm not a person that likes to be stuck in a church for too long. I don't mind serving. I don't mind doing. I'll do whatever I can, man. But I just be hungry about souls, because that's all the thing I've been doing for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, going to different countries, and we realize there's people hungry for God for real. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we slave in ministry for people that don't want God for real. And then you go to another country and they got to force people to go home. People ain't got vehicles. People travel for miles, like, just to be where the presence. Like, it's crazy, man. So I wish that I could take a group. You know what I'm saying? I have the ability, you know what I'm saying, to be able to take them to some of the places I've been, because, like, I know how the housing and stuff is set up. So, yeah, man, I would definitely love to be able to take a group, let them see, like, what it's like, you know what I'm saying, like, to, where you have prayer lines that don't end.
Right. I couldn't imagine that.
That don't end. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, I've been invited, you know what I'm saying, to Pakistan and India. So I don't even know where I'm going to put those, you know what I'm saying? And so this is where 100,000 people come and show up, bro.
Wow.
Where they just put buckets of oil on both sides and you just go at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love America for the freedom that we had, the way we live. But as far as Christianity, bro, it's a lot lazy, man.
Yeah,
It's
it
a lot
really is,
lazy.
man. There's to me, there's not a real hunger and thirst after righteousness. It's not a real hunger for God, man. And I would like to see that and experience that, man. That somebody is real hungry after God and just go for it. You know what I mean? And be real about it. You know what I mean? Be real about it, bro. And I think that's important, bro. Well, we like what you're doing for the youth, man. Like you say, we both are unorthodox as far as the music and how we, praise the Lord, man. It's all the same thing, man. As long as it's God centered, what's the fuss about?
Right.
What we ain't rapping about, or we ain't talking about going out here shaking your butt, doing tail feather, anything like. It's all Jesus.
Right.
It's all Jesus. That's what it represents. So, man, keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. No matter, I know you say you got tough skin, but no matter what nobody say about you, bro, at the end of the day, the Bible tells us it's better to please God
Right.
than it is man. And with that being said, man, I've taken blows for the music that I do. I've been talked about for the music that I do because that's how I feel. That's how I want to express
Right.
how I feel about God. That's how I hear it. I was brought up in the hand clapping, stomp feet in church and all that, and Pentecost, and I still love that. But when I have something in my heart, that's how it comes out to God.
Right.
And I believe that He's pleased with that. I believe God is pleased with that. So with that being said, listen, we got 2 EPs out, Can I Testify and Better Days, and I have a single out, My Invitation. And we also got a young gospel group called SOG for Life. All of our music is streaming on all streaming platforms. But you can also go to Amazon and purchase it. $1. It ain't gonna cost you much. You can go purchase our music. Before we end this, man, do you have any plans on? I know we've talked about it before. Have any plans on putting some things on wax, man? I want to get with you, bro, and record something live, or just have you on there. You know what I'm saying, with them strings, bro. Just have you on there with them strings to change the whole dynamic of the music that we do. Because a lot of stuff we do is audio. You know what I'm saying? But I love to have that sound on there, man. So is there any possibility that I can steal some of your time, bro?
Oh yeah, man, definitely, man. I would definitely. I probably got. Obviously, I didn't start performing until 23. You know what I'm saying? But man, I probably got like 30 songs of my own. You know what I'm saying? And so, obviously, for performance purposes, it's easier if you're gonna do something different to kind of mesh it with something that people know. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to get that participation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I definitely I want to do a prayer album for one, for sure. Our instrumental prayer album, and I want to do a live one. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the intercession nights that we be having. Like, we definitely got to do that.
Got to.
And then definitely like some of my own material. So I think it's just a matter of putting it on the calendar. You know what I'm saying, to do it. But for sure, and I hope that, you know what I'm saying, in our city, man, we get some more support. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, let me just go ahead and say this for the both of us. Like,
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
We're not trying to steal your young people.
No members.
It's not that, right? And if we was trying to do that, it'd be a different ball game, right? But let's be honest. Like, first of all, I'm a teacher, so most of y'all young people I come in contact with, like, let's be for real. Like, they need something else, something more. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been watching us long enough to know we're doing it for the right reasons. So let's cut all that side chatter out about you don't like what we're doing, but your young people do, right? And when you keep them locked into something that they checked out of, they just gonna go and they're gonna find NBA young boy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Rod Wave.
Look at the stuff that they into. You wonder why our young people are running up and down the street with ski mask on, with their pants down, and you know what I'm saying, why they ravaging our schools now. Like, we can't be fighting y'all and trying to fight the enemy that's fighting our young people too, man. Like, y'all gonna take the back seat. Like, that's why we do it. We do it because we realize that the enemy is playing the Pied Piper for our young people. He is soothing them away with the sounds of the world the same way. Listen, let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in church, and so I didn't get introduced to hip hop and R&B to the 8th grade. And I remember the first time I heard it, I was hooked.
Right, exactly.
I remember I heard, what was it? Bone Thugs in Harmony.
Yeah.
The song they had, Look Into My Eyes, I think it was.
My eyes and tell me
I
what it
heard
is
that
you
song,
see.
and then I remember hearing Total, What About Us, back to
Yeah.
back. And just the way the arrangement, I was like, bro, that's it. I'd only heard hand clapping up until that point. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, yeah, yo, we're not doing it for the reason. We're not trying to steal nobody's young people. We're not trying to lead them down the path. But I guarantee you, they sitting right in your house listening to Rod Wave, listening to NBA Youngborn, listening to G Herbo and El Huncho and all of these people that's saying stuff to them that's demonically being seared into their conscience. Like, we're fighting another kind of fight. That's all it is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we realize that we got a fight on our hands. And so, like, come on, y'all. Let's get it together.
Yeah.
Like, we all on the same team.
Same team, you know what I'm saying? But the enemy got us fighting one another, bro. And some of I'm gonna say this too. I think some of it is jealousy and envy. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I said it, jealousy and envy, because we're doing something that you're not doing or capable or have the ability to do, but God has given us the ability to do it. And the thing about me, I know for a fact that if they will go and get in their car or be at home cleaning up or something, and their playlist, they're listening to other gospel rappers or gospel music that's similar sounding like ours, but it's just the fact that it's us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's ludicrous. Just because it's us, you won't support it, won't listen to it, but go and ride in the car and listen to the same type of music. God bless you and heaven smile upon you as I pray. Listen, this is a brand new you podcast. Let's go. Let's grow. It's my man, Prophet Jamil Mauney. Go like and follow him. Subscribe to everything you do. And be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for new music coming from us.
Oh, yeah. For
All
sure.
right? Be on the lookout for us. So, till we meet again, remember to like and subscribe. Let's go and let's grow.
Get down and I repent. Talk to the Lord. I ask for faith to bless my family and friends. Hold me and keep me tight. No need to fuss and fight. Blessings come day and night. Hands up for Jesus Christ. We bless his holy name. Forgave him, now I'm saved. Hands up and give him praise.